Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Now we have a drive solution. The QuizLab hub is dead, as we know. This was one of my drive solutions out of a couple. The other drive that was inside that QuizLab was actually the laptop-sized SSD. I've already got in an external case that I already had here, but didn't have anything for my NVMe drive, which, by the way, it is rated at 3,500 megabits per second on the read and 3,000 write. I'm not thinking we're going to get anywhere close to that because this is Type-C, it's not Thunderbolt. But it is a highly recommended case across YouTube and of course on wonderful Amazon.ca. This little puppy will set you back $39.98. It's Amazon's choice with over 7,122 ratings. Not all of them are going to be perfect. There will always be somebody to complain and whine, don't worry. But either way, on YouTube I have seen this case and I thought, well, I'm not a Sabrent hub fan because they don't have any powered hubs. QuizLab's the only one who's got them currently. But I thought, oh, let's get this out of the box for you guys. I kind of cheated earlier and kind of opened it up and I thought, and I kind of ripped it and I'm like, yeah, well. Anyways, so we do get a little booklet with this thing. It's an M.2 PCIe Nvme and SATA SSDs. It is the M key only support though from the looks of things. We do get a rubber grommet, so if you're using drives smaller than the full size length here, okay, this is the full length that already has a key already in the drive. This is the little rubber grommet for the shorter ones, so we don't want to lose parts. I'm going to have to put more stuff in my parts bin. But we do get the drive, we do get our cable. Oh, they really like to seal stuff in, don't they? Alright. I think what I might want to do is, well, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to have to paste it on top of my Mac, darn it. Anyway, so it just plugs right in like so, and it'll go into my Thunderbolt port on my Mac. Anyhow, to get into this puppy, we have a little push button. We just push in on it, pull up, and we do already have one of those heat shields here already to help dissipate heat. And this has got a key on it that you got to get it in just the right place. Okay, and we put the drive in. The little short key goes to the short side, obviously. So let me try and give you best we can anyway. So that goes just in like so. Just wiggle it a little bit, get it seated in there. Push down gently, and then just rotate this key, and it'll lock it in place. Just got to get it to move. It's really tiny. This is where the video starts to suck a little bit. I got to get this thing to rotate properly. There we go. So just a little extra push down and that's now locked in place. It's not coming out. Close it up and we'll put her on the Mac first. And there's my drive. Alright. With all my files still intact. Yay! Thank you. Oh. Whew, that's a relief. Let's speed test this little puppy. Alright. We're going to do a 5 gig load test on it. And this one is called HD 1 terabyte. Open and fire and go. Let's see what we get. 810.4 write. $840.8 read. That's actually not too bad. I think I do have the right format routine on this drive. I don't think I did this as an Apple format. But I want to test it on the PC as well, because the PC program tends to apparently read slightly different. So I don't know how well we can do this. And let me see if I can zoom in for you guys on that. It's probably going to be easier to zoom in on the laptop. And that's about the best we're going to get, I think. Alright, let's see if this thing is formatted for exFAT or not. No, it's not going to find it that way. Maybe I did put this under APFS. I know how to find out. Disk mark. No, it can't find it. Ah, man, that would have been so nice. But anyway, from what I've seen on this drive on YouTube, Crystal Disk will actually show this thing running a little over 1,000 megabits per second with a fast drive in it, obviously. So we were talking the other day about SSDs and speeds and stuff and different bus lines, amperage, all that. Like that drive chews up 1.8 amps and I can only give it 900 milliamps. So speed is determined by whether or not you have enough amperage for the drive, but also the bus line it's attached to, okay? They do kind of work together. I mean, if we were getting enough amperage direct connect, we would likely see a little bit of extra speed, but we only have a certain amount of speed that a Type-C connection base can actually do. Thunderbolt is the fastest. We have Thunderbolt 3, Thunderbolt 4, okay? And we have Type-C, and Type-C does have its upper limits. So on one side of the fence, having that fast of a drive in that case is kind of a waste of money when you can buy a drive that is, say, rated for, I don't know, 1,500 read and write, which would be probably more suitable, or even 1,000 read and write. That would be a more practical purchase, even at the same size of drive. But then you're kind of treading into different territories as well at times, kind of depending. But I mean, slower drives are starting to dissipate quicker, you know. Faster drives are taking over. And having a bit faster drive in there, okay, well, we are choking it down. We're going to see some much hotter temperatures because of lack of amperage too. We have the voltage. What we're lacking is amperage and a faster bus line. If we had the more amperage, we would gain a little bit of extra speed. And then, of course, if we had the faster bus line being Thunderbolt non-powered cases are still not going to get that thing running 35 by 3000 or close to it. It might get up to 2000 on the read and maybe 1000 or 1500 write speed on a non-powered Thunderbolt case. But if you get a powered Thunderbolt case that also has a controller in it that can also handle high-speed drives, well, now you're talking, but you're also talking a lot of money for that case, and in which case that would be the fastest case capable. You are going to definitely want to get like the fastest drive possible to be able to go in there for the expense it's going to cost you for the case. You might as well bite the bullet and buy the faster drive, you know, and it just kind of makes more sense, you know what I mean? But 35 by 3, it's hard to pull that out of a Type-C. It's pretty much near impossible, right? We don't have powered Type-C cases, and if we do, I've not seen any available, unless I'm not looking in the right spot. Maybe if you do know something, drop me a thing down below and I can take a look. But this case is a Sabrent. It's all metal enclosure. It's built. It's fully toolless, as you saw. No tools required whatsoever. Push a button, lift it, pop it in, twist the little thingy once you got that figured out, and it locks the drive, and you're done. That's it. Plug it in, and rock and roll you go. So now we have life actually is more or less 100% back to normal. I mean, honestly, the only real difference now between having the hub and not having the hub is I just don't have another free Type-C port, where the hub did. It had the 3 USBs, which I used the faster of the 3 anyways. I would use it more often, but I'm kind of okay with the other hub I have down here. It's working for the card reader, and I've got my drive back online here. I have my other drive actually kicking here, which I can plug in, and that's my 480, and I just fire that up, and it should appear here in a moment. And there's my 480, has a little Apple sign, and I'm back in business. Everything's 100%. So all this costed me, if I don't include the spare card reader, this only costed me like $51 to get back to normal and have my drives all online at the same time if I want them. I've got my card reader back. I'm just missing an extra Type-C port that I rarely ever used that Type-C. So if anything, what I would like to find is a more powerful and higher end Type A hub that has multiple ports on it like this with the switches. That would be the only other thing. And supplying more amperage, obviously, so I can get more to each port. Because the power supply has 2 amps, but it has to divide that by 7 slots. Whether they're on or not, it's still a division. And so it's only going to assign X amount to each. And yes, it still runs the devices, but we could end up with a glitch here and there. So the only way to, you know, make more available, less chance of surging would be to turn off a bunch of stuff, which, whatever. It's kind of a funny system. To be honest, I still don't fully understand all the innies and outies of it all. Hey, do we have software on this still? I'm pretty sure we do. That might, yeah, all my software is there too. Yay! A little slower to load, but once it's there, it's there. So all my files are intact. We're all good again. So yeah, so this Sabrent one, it supports 2230, 2242, 2260, 2280. So the big one, which is what we got in there. 10 gigabit transmission speeds. It's USB 3.2, which is fine. I'm good with that for the Mac. Efficient data transfer. It is backwards compatible too with USB 3.1 and 3.0 at respective speed limits. So each version of USB, Type A or not, it's all the same amperage. You only get 500 milliamps out of any Type A port and 900 out of any Type C, including Thunderbolt. But it's the speeds of the lanes, right? Each version has a specific amount of speed that it maxes to. And we're kind of at the max of this. And we know that from our drive only running 35 by 3. I have the exact same drive sitting in my laptop, in my gamer system. The exact same drive, and it's rated 35 by 3, and it runs very on the edge close. Like, it's only a few points shy of that 3500. And the right side runs a little over 2000 and something. So, and that's an internal. So it's kind of a, could we gain a little bit more by PCIe 4, right? Because PCIe 3 has its limits. PCIe 4 is going to be much faster, right? So we've capped out the case because a 35 by 3 is only getting what it is. But it's still better, you know, than it was in the hub actually for speeds. So the case is offering me a bit more speed there. Yeah. And what else we got? Plug and play, no additional drivers required. Bus power, does not need an external power supply. Perfect for tech nerds, 4K content designers, and engineers at up to 1000 megabits per second, which we have seen that registered speed, plugging it into a PC with that disk speed test that they have for Windows, it actually does hit about 1000 without a problem. Now, as far as 4K content goes, I would like to venture into a little thing here for a quick second with you guys. Wrong program. This one. Okay, so this is my drive. So select target, HD 1 terabyte is what we want, and open. I just want to go through this with you guys quickly here. So we know what we had first gotten. It will vary and change a little bit up and down because now we're at 809.7. We are doing a 5 gig stress test too, 842.0. So what it's calculated up here is we are good actually up to 8K DCI 24 right across the board with Blackmagic Raw, ProRes 422 HQ, and H.265 right across. We can get to 8K DCI 60 on Blackmagic Raw. No support for ProRes, but then we do have H.265. On 12K DCI 24, we do have Blackmagic Raw and ProRes 422. So not that, it's actually pretty good for the speeds. You know, even for that, that works pretty good. You know, again, we'll run the test, and again, one quick one here. 809.1. Read side will be 839.7. So, I think we're definitely awesomely good to rock and roll there. That works pretty good. I wish it was faster, but that means a Thunderbolt case is the only way to get this drive to come up any faster. And for what I'm using the drive for, I don't need that much extra speed, to be honest. But I don't like starving drives for amperage either, so you got to watch the heavy loads, right? A heavy load is going to superheat the drive and can cook it because of the lack of amperage available. It strains the drive that much harder because the drive can't keep up, and that's what's actually slowing down your drive. It's not, you know, because your drive's not fast enough or whatever. It's that you do not have amperage without having a powered external box that has the amperage to feed it, right? That's the thing. So, and this is non-powered, but it works, and it works really well. So thumbs up to Sabrent for that. It's a pretty good case. I don't do heavy loads, so I know I'm okay, and it does have that heat shield thing in it anyway, so we're all good no matter what. I think it's definitely worth the 40 bucks. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. I have no issues with that. But I do wish they would start coming out with external Type-C ported drive cases that were actually powered. You know, even for the SSD laptop style drives, those things want like 1 amp, 1.6, 1.8, 2 amps, depending on the drive. Mine choose like 1 amp. I have another one. I actually put it into this, and it actually draws about 1.6 amps. And at least it gets it out of the internal bus, but it can't get it externally because we don't have powered cases for that. And Thunderbolt cases, lots of choices out there. Totally agree with you guys. But I've only seen 1 or 2 powered Thunderbolt cases, and they will run those, you know, massive 7,000 megabit per second drives at pretty much full bore, but only because they're powered and the bus line is supported with the controller inside. So it's kind of a, don't buy a really super high horsepower thing, because you're not going to get that kind of power until you hit Thunderbolt with powered boxes. But anyway, that's enough of that. I like it. Let me know what you think. Have you tried this? What's your experience been with it? I'm kind of curious to know. Me personally, I'm going to have to, well, the cable's a little shorter than what I thought it would be, so I'm going to have to kind of paste it on my Mac somehow. Well, I've got the tape for it, but I don't want to paste it on too stiff. I have to figure that out. I wish the cable was a little longer. If I can find another longer cable, I might even actually have one kicking around, come to think of it. I'll have to check, see, and if I do, well, then I can just mount it anywhere I want, and it'll be great. But anyway, in the meantime, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I do have some music videos coming up today. I got some music stuff from Amazon as well, but this is the end of our computer collection stuff. I gotta go put this in a safe storage place. I'm happy with this purchase. It's now completely got me functioning 100% again. So kudos to Amazon for having great deals and products that are affordable and work really, really well. If you haven't seen it either, check out the Beikell, or B-E-I-K-E-L-L card reader video. And let me know what you think of that thing. I actually bought 2. One is a spare, just in case. You never know if you get a defect, but you know, now I got a good spare one kicking as well now. Anyway, that's it. That's all. See ya.